7 Eyewitness News begins with breaking news.
And we're tracking breaking news out of Southwest Fresno. Officers on the scene at this hour of a shooting at Sampson and MLK.
CBS 47's Fabiola Ramirez is there live with the latest details this morning. Fabiola.
Police are still on scene. It looks like they just wrapped up their investigation, but they will be towing a couple of those cars that are there that do not belong to the area. Now, police tell me 3 people were shot earlier this morning. One of them went and knocked on someone's door to call for help. The other 2 drove themselves to the hospital. All are expected to be okay. Now, police say all 3 victims are associates and are known to be gang-related, but it is unknown at this time if the shooting itself was gang-related. I'm told no home is associated with these victims at this point. Sounds like they don't live in the area. They were just hanging out when they were shot.
Majority of our evidence is towards the western end of our crime scene. I can tell you we found some ballistic evidence there and some vehicle parts. We're trying to piece together how that's involved.
Police have no information on suspects at this time, and they're looking to find out if the shooter was driving by on a foot. Just seconds ago, one of the cars was towed away, and they tell us the 2 other cars are going to be towed shortly. Once the day comes, they say they will come back around and talk to a few residents to see if anybody saw or heard anything. Live in Fresno, Fabiola Ramirez, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Fabiola. Right now, firefighters in Madera County are working to stop the school fire, which broke out yesterday afternoon near roads 225 and 230 in North Fork. CAL FIRE tells us it's up to 12 acres, and they are gaining ground, though, working around the clock. At last check, they have it 50% contained. CAL FIRE expecting the risk of fires to intensify as we get later into the season.
Month we would have significant issues. We still have a little moisture in the fuels, so that we were able to catch this thing with not being very large. Probably wouldn't be able to do the same thing next month.
The goal is to have full containment sometime today, and sure is hot out there for those guys.
It is. Anthony, what are the weather conditions like where the fire is?
Hot and dry conditions are what we're going to be dealing with there in the mountains. Of course, it gets a little rough for us. The winds tend to kick up in the afternoon, so a little bit after lunchtime to the drive time home will be especially concerning. Now, here's the other thing at play. We've got monsoon moisture feeding into the area, so it could be a good thing that we see it moving a little further north. But the bad part about it is over the next day or 2, we'll be watching and have the potential for some thunderstorms to fire up across the area there. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. You can see this morning it's a little quieter than it was on yesterday, where we saw those sprinkles over the Tulare County mountains there. More of the activity is a little bit further east, but that could be short-lived. 58 right now for Oakhurst, 73 in Fresno as you head further south there, 65 in Visalia, and temperatures in the North Valley there in the lower 60s as well. Of course, the day ahead is going to be a hot one. Of course, triple-digit temperatures on the way back. We'll talk more about that coming up.
Anthony, thank you. In continuing coverage, the man facing felony weapons charges in the death of a 2-year-old is expected in court today. Police say on Saturday, 2-year-old Jace Alexander got a hold of Oscar Ramos's gun while Ramos was in another room playing video games. Little Jace shot himself and died. The 35-year-old is now facing several charges, including child abuse and endangerment.